Perfect. Sheesh. This call is slam. Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited. I'm grateful to be here. And to be honest, guys, I love doing these calls. I was actually putting something together for this call last night into today and really just wanted to know what I was going to talk about, what I was going to dive into. So first of all, guys, I appreciate all of you guys on here because, again, say this all the time, you could literally be anywhere right now. But I want to share something first before I dive into this. Have a pen and paper ready for all of these calls because some of this information, you may not have heard before, or maybe we say it and you hear it in a different way and it just clicks for you, right? But something that I want to say really quick is, number one, I don't want to waste your time. We're going to run right into this, but I also want to talk really, really quickly on why it's so important that we plug into these weekly calls. The leaders have been tag teaming and just bouncing some really amazing ideas off of each other and putting them into action. And these weekly calls, the 4-hour work week, I think is what we're kind of calling it, is something that really can bring everyone together. It's something that, we can build closer relationships and just have this really contagious, electrifying community of like-minded people. And one thing that I've learned the last several weeks of just studying and really personally developing and growing myself is that, calls like these events, whether they're regional, local events, meetups, or anything like that are just like a mastermind. And even though I'm primarily the one that's speaking right now and everything, you're able to still put yourself in an environment that's energetically surrounded by other like-minded people, creating a mastermind. And I think that's the coolest part about that, where we can all be vibing on the same frequency and connect with each other for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it may be. So come onto these calls, with the right intention for the betterment and the growth of yourself. Really just understanding, we want to be surrounded by this information, by this kind of energy on a day-to-day basis. Because guys, we're always changing. This is the last thing I'll say, and then I'll touch on the topic we're going to go into. But really just understanding, this is what one of my mentors had talked to me about when I was in Miami a couple weeks ago, is we're always changing. Like every day we wake up as a new person, and we may not really think about it like that, but we really do. And every day that we get up, we have different problems, we have different challenges, different setbacks, different opportunities, and we have to see that as an opportunity for growth. But every time we wake up, we're a different person. So when we come on here, we hear things in a different way, we see things in a different way, we are able to shift the way our perspective is, our paradigm, things like that, and really challenge your mind and your thinking. So these calls are really here to just elevate your belief, check yourself almost, and really uplift your thoughts and maybe hear a new message, gain a new perspective, maybe hear the same message again, but just in a different way. And now, like I said, it just clicks for you. So that's my preface before this call. Are we ready to grow? Let's do this. So let's start. The topic of the call tonight is the journey is the destination. I actually have a tank top. I should have worn it for this call, but it's all right. It says the journey is the destination. And it always reminds me, as we're going through this, as we're really diving into whatever our focus on in life, let me just start with a story, because I think that's the best to really kind of break this down, give you guys that relatability, and also just paint a picture for you. And for me, guys, I'm gonna bring you back to when I first got started. For those that don't know me, really quick, my name is Abigail Poston. I've been with IML for almost 2 years now. It's kind of crazy how insane this journey has already been. And for me, when I got started, I won't dive too much into the building or the trading side. I'm just going to talk about like where my mindset was. But when I got started, guys, I came in with the mindset of, I got to make money right now. And for those who don't really know my story, I'm in over $100,000 student loan debt, and just really affording those monthly payments was like 100%. Like I needed that at the time. And so making money, an extra $400 or $500 a month was the only thing that I could think about. And type of one in the chat, if like when you got started, that was like your number one priority, was like, I got to make money right now. Like that was your focus. And it's okay if it was, like, it's honestly normal for people to be like that. But something that I realized moving forward is kind of getting to a long-term vision for myself, and having that long-term vision, really casting a picture, painting a picture for myself long-term, is I started to realize, as I put hours in to my craft and what I was doing, I realized that it's not really all about the money. It was more so about the growth of myself. And I was so focused, guys. I was so focused on really what I was going to be doing in that moment. I was really focused on the end result, the outcome of where I was trying to go. And I was just so attached to the actual result that I wasn't focused on the moment that I was in right now. I wasn't focused on, capitalizing and maximizing right now, the being in the present moment. And that's really what this is all about. The journey is the destination. It's not really where we're trying to go. Like, yes, have that vision, but understand that in order to get to that vision, in order to get to where we're trying to go, we have to maximize and be in the present moment. And I know that's kind of hard for a lot of people. I've been through, periods of depression, of anxiety. I felt sad, lost, whatever it may be. But I've always noticed that when I go into those periods, I wasn't focused, I wasn't centered in the moment. And that's really where you guys can capitalize on your growth, truly understand who you are as a person. And I made a post about it today on my social media talking about, how we just need to be focused on personally developing ourselves. And really that's like the center point, the nucleus of really understanding our foundation for who we are. And so guys, what I'm trying to say here is, I know I'm all over the place, but really what I'm trying to say here is focus on where you are right now, because the future hasn't even happened yet. Okay. The past is over. If you try to bring your past to your now, you're screwed. Just point blank, you're screwed. Like, the past is over. Learn from it. It's done. What we have right now is right now. And what we can do in this moment is really just focus on, okay, the opportunity at hand to grow and become something bigger and better and really attain what we want. But I just know for so many people, when we come into this, we want to make this money, we want to do all these things, and we're so attached to the outcome, we're so attached to the result, and we lose sight of what we need to be doing right now, taking that necessary action to getting there, elevating our belief, hopping on calls like these, for example, and really associating ourselves with the right people, with the right influence, with the right mindset to allow ourselves to grow and mature into what we're trying to become as a whole. But that was like the biggest thing that for me when I got started was my belief, and just really focusing on, okay, this is a longer term thing. It's not just instant gratification. I need this right now. It's let me see how I can take these opportunities, take these challenges, take these problems, and just try to figure it out. Just try to use that to make myself better in the long term. Because a lot of times we just get so paralyzed. We just become so anxious. And we start to actually focus on what we're lacking instead of seeing the abundance that's right in front of us. The fact that, guys, and this is what I want to preface really quick, is the fact that we have the ability to learn a skill that only the wealthiest people, the most elite on this planet know and have access to this information. That's a blessing already. And a lot of us, when we come in, or sometimes this is how we're bringing people on, or we're talking to people, or whatever it may be, we start to hype things up and we only focus on the outcome instead of realizing that it's really just all about the journey and our growth along that way. But that's really what I wanted to talk about, guys, just really seeing the journey for what it is. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have your low points. You're going to have your highs, but just remember to always be riding the wave. That's really what it comes down to, because I've had really, really highs, and I've had really, really like deep down, depressed lows, and they're not fun. So what I can say about that is just really just riding the wave out, being on the journey, and don't get so caught up on the outcome, because it's going to come, guys. Just believe in yourselves, get around the right people, get around the right circle of influence, and things will really start to turn out if you stay consistent, you stay perseverant to your vision, and you stay loyal to what you originally started. Because I know that blessings come when you stay committed. But that's what I got, guys. Tonight, I really want to open it up really quick to anybody that has any questions. I guess we can do that for a couple minutes. If you guys want to do that, I'll open that up. Or if any of the leaders that are on here that want to say something.
Hey, Abby, I have a question. How would you say, for let's say someone who's been in the business and they've just been struggling for a bit, and what are some tips that you could give someone to be able to, how can they really release that frustration and then be able to put themselves into a better mindset where they can start believing in themselves and not kind of letting that past experience move forward too much, like drag forward with them too much?
Sure. Honestly, I'm always going to go back to personal development, because anytime, or go work out, just release those toxins. But honestly, personal development is like the biggest key for my breakthroughs. Is just whenever I feel super anxious, super, super low, super high, I always get into, right now I have one personal development audio that I've just been always going back to, listening to it in the morning, throughout the day. Anytime that I have a negative thought come into my mind, and guys, that's the difference also from the most successful people, or from, the difference between the person that you're trying to become versus right now. It's not that they don't have negative thoughts or they don't have problems. They actually have way more problems, or way different kind of problems. It's the fact that, when that negativity comes in, or that doubt comes in, or that anxiety starts, flushing through your body, it's not about having it. It's about what you do about it. And I know that's the most cliche things that we hear all the time, but honestly, it's those kind of things that make all the difference. We hear these things all the time, but you really don't know something until you're putting it to work, until you take action on it and you're actually experiencing it. You see how it feels for yourself. But I would say, Wa, to really answer your question, because I've definitely been there. I feel like a lot of us have been there, or you're about to be there, is to just go back and get into some kind of personal development. And that's a really good thing that you said right now, which I can touch on. For everyone that's on this call, I've kind of talked to a few people about it already, and it's honestly blowing my mind. And I'm gonna say this really quick. When I was in Miami the other week, a couple weeks ago, shout out to Wa, Chance, and Sam when I stayed with you guys, Matt Green, whatever you are. That was an absolutely amazing just so mind-blowing, unreal experience. When I was over there, I got to talk with a couple individuals, and one in particular, we really got to talking, and she shared with me her personal development. The results that she received over time, she wasn't really focused on when it was going to happen. She was just focused on about feeling good throughout the whole process. And I think that's extremely important. So what I'm trying to say is, if anybody is, maybe they're not getting the results that they want, or they're not making progress at least, okay, I have a personal development plan that she put me on. For those of you that may know her, Spila Sluga, she is the director on IMLTV, and she's absolutely phenomenal. She put me onto her personal development plan, and if you guys want details, just message me, message one of the leaders. We'll put you onto it. It's absolutely insane. It's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. But having some kind of consistent personal development within your daily routine is a must, to answer your question, Juan.
Thanks, Abby. And again, I just want to chime in real quick. And every single frustration that all of us go through in life and in this business, every frustration that will come from the realities of dealing with rejection and pain, frustration in this business, is an indicator that we need to go back and relearn something. And typically you can find that in a book. You can find that in an audio, all the answers that you're really looking for in this business. So Abby, appreciate that.
Got you. Does anybody else have any questions they want to ask?
Closed mouths do not get fed, guys and girls. Closed mouths do not get fed.
What's up, Brian?
Brian, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey guys, my name's Brian. I'm here at the library. I just wanted to ask Gabby, how do you get? Is it okay to have a little bit of fear when you're out?
Brian, you're still muted, I believe.
Put your microphone up to your mouth.
Hello.
Try it again.
Does it work? Does it work?
Talk. Yeah, you're good.
Does it work?
Go for it.
Okay. I was wondering if it was okay to have a little bit of fear when you're out in public and you're kind of trying to cold prospect people about the business.
Have a little fear when you go out and talk to people? Yeah, I mean, I was nervous on this call before we even got started. Yeah, it's a normal thing. It's just, again, developing yourself to see how you respond in those situations. So whatever situation that you're in, and going back and becoming aware of it, taking note on it. So I think a lot of people, when they do things, I think I was saying this to somebody the other day, but a lot of people just kind of do things. They just take action. You know, a lot of people do that. And then some people, they have a plan and then they take action on their plan. They go out and do it. But very rarely do people go out and do they review what they just did. And so they continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over again and never go back and review what they just did. And they end up with the same life and they wonder why they're not getting a different result. And so having, you know, kind of going back to, you know, having fear, is that normal, things like that. What I would say is, yeah, it's normal. But take note of it while you're out. Like, what are you doing exactly? Maybe have like kind of a plan of action of like maybe what you're going to say, things like that. Or just maybe complimenting people. That's honestly one of the most simplest ways to do that. But just go back and become aware of what you're doing. And then you will slowly start to gradually overcome that fear with whatever you're doing in life.
That's cool. Thanks, Abby.
Yeah. Cool. Anybody else? We good? We Gucci?
One more.
What's up, Brian?
See, I've seen the new presentation, like with the new PowerPoints. I haven't seen anybody around here present it. So, does anybody have like a video of how?
What? You haven't seen it?
No.
I'll send you a video, bro.
All right.
I got you.
For sure.
Yeah, I got you. Cool. Brian, if you have any other questions like related to building, hit my inbox. I got you for sure. But if anybody doesn't have any more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and end this call. But guys, like Tony said, who is excited for this weekend? Who's excited? I'm excited.
Yo, let's put it this way. I've been ready since London to go to freaking Miami or to Florida. So I'll see you guys in like 3 days.
Hey, Brian, I want to give it back to you, brothers. I mean, I'm proud of you for having the courage to be able to share those questions tonight, because those are questions that I'm sure a lot of people on here are probably thinking or have felt at some point. And so I appreciate you for asking that question tonight, and so thank you for that.
Oh, thanks, bro.
So
Appreciate that.
Dope. Does somebody have their hand up?
Yeah, me. Can you hear me?
What's up, man? Yeah, go for it.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah. How do you deal with anger issues? I mean, I'm struggling with that. That does get in the way for, you know, in terms of my success, right? So I don't know about you, Abby, but what do you do when you have anger issues, right?
People, Albert, not kill them.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I flipped out last night, man. I did something stupid and, you know, not proud of it, but
Yeah.
What do you suggest? I mean,
remember, it all comes back to our intentions.
right.
About what intentions are you thinking about? When we have an intention on something, Albert, it means that we're putting our full focus, our time, our energy, right, our psyche on that.
Right.
So where our focus and energy, where we send that, it grows. Yeah. Okay, it's a natural law in life. Whatever it is, like it's by Newton. It's law that whatever energy will always find its equal.
Yeah.
Energy will always find its equal. So that comes true whether we send out good energy or we send out bad energy. Okay?
Right.
I get it, bro. I understand how frustrating building the business can be.
It is.
I started network marketing over 3 years ago, and I remember I had no success for the longest time. And I would always be that guy who would always be very insecure because I couldn't bring anyone to an event. Because I would
that actually does make me depressed, right. You know, and that slows me down, and it's right. Hard, man.
So again, we all have two sides of what we choose to focus on. We can choose into that negative side, or we can choose into the positive side. You will always have those two choices. You will always have those two choices.
Sure. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if Chris told you, but something really creepy happened as I was trying to build a business. I had this potential prospect, and he basically he was trying to hit on me, basically, and he found me attractive, right? And he sent me a picture of his, inappropriate pictures, and he asked me to send me mine, right? I'm like, dude, I'm not. You know.
Uh,
Just-
Obviously, you would just block that very quick.
yeah, I mean, like that's just one of the things. Yeah.
Block
Yeah.
it. That's it. And
Right.
I'm sure. You know, this is something that I'm sure as for those of you that are women here on this
Yeah.
call, Abby can share something. You know, I'm
Yeah,
sure this is something
right.
that they probably deal
More
with as well.
times than we can count, bro.
Yeah. Right.
Albert, nothing to be embarrassed about. It's gonna happen.
I'm not embarrassed. I was just shocked for a couple of days. I'm like, I can't believe that happened. You know
Just
that.
anticipate it.
You're good.
Anticipate all of it.
You what? Sorry.
I said just anticipate it. All like
Yeah.
anything can happen, and just
Yeah. Right.
overcome it, dude. You got it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Just an experience, man. It's an experience, eh?
That's what happens when you're such a good-looking guy, Albert.
Are you trying to head at me now? I'm kidding. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks for and Abby. Thanks for the feedback, right? Yeah. So,
Got you.
yeah.
Sam, you have your hand up?
Yeah, the other thing I was just gonna say about how you were talking about you had like some of the anger, like I had that at one point, and what I really figured out is kind of like Abby was talking about with personal development, kind of the idea of what you have like in your cup, like that whole idea of what you fill your cup with is what is going to spill out of you. So like if you're filling your cup with personal development, positive like things in your life, positive people around you, what you're going to spill out is positivity. But if you're filling it kind of with, I know for me, I would get so frustrated when I took a couple losses trading. I'd get so angry. I'd be like, okay, screw it, and walk away. And then what I found was every time that I had that feeling, I would go, okay, we're done trading for right now until I can calm down. Because like the whole idea of your reptilian brain, like if you're angry, trading's a bad idea. So instead of doing that, I would kind of go watch some personal development, watch something extremely positive, or get on the phone with, like I would get on the phone with Matt or Jason or some other people, kind of get like that positive impact in my life. And the more I surrounded myself by that, the more I removed the negativity, I found there was a lot less of it spilling out of me, and I became a much happier person, because that's the whole idea of like happiness is an inside job. It's not something that necessarily your environment is going to give you. You have to force it kind of out of yourself by what you do.
Like Abby was saying, focus on the present and don't bring the past into the present. That's a good point she made, because a lot of the anger, it's to do with the past experiences, and when you bring it to the present, and that's where that's baggage basically. So
Yes, sir.
okay, right, I was muted before.
Dope. Sam, thanks for sharing that, girl.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sam. Yeah, thanks. That was
No
very
problem at all.
insightful. Yeah, right. So as I was saying that, yeah, I don't know if you heard me before, but as Abby was saying that when you bring your past into the present, then that's baggage. So that causes a lot of us to lose focus into the present.
Yep. The best
So it's
thing I
important.
ever heard is you wouldn't drive a car looking in the rear view mirror. Why would you drive your life looking backwards?
Sure,
And
that's
that
true.
really just
It's a
like
good
hit me
analogy.
square that's
Yeah.
what really just hit me square between the eyes, and I went, okay, like we got to get rid of the baggage. It's not taking me anywhere forward. Like you're kind of dumb if you're driving your car forward, like looking in the rear view mirror, but a lot of us will go and like go our entire lives based off of looking backwards. It's kind of, once I had
Yeah.
that kind of click, that was like little mini mind explosion for me, and it really did change everything.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
Dope. Awesome.
Yeah.
Guy. You good, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, man. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this call unless anybody else has any other questions. If y'all want some, if you guys want that personal development plan, hit one of the leaders up, hit myself up. We got you. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your Monday. Get excited. Get fired up for this weekend. And I'll see all of you guys in Miami. Peace out.